Back when I was a kid, I not only loved video games, I loved WWE. I would always cheer on my favorite wrestler, Jeff Hardy. My parents noticed how much I loved pro wrestling. With that in mind, they decided I was old enough to be told the truth, the best kept secret, the untold fables only the Jedi Council of the family knew. And that truth was, my uncle was a pro wrestler. When I heard this, I was flabbergasted. The other kid in class whose uncle worked at Nintendo had nothing on me now. All I needed was proof. I needed to see my Uncle Mark in brutal action. So my mother fulfilled my wishes. I thank her to this day. A couple nights later we went to one of my uncle's matches. It wasn't WWE, but it was good enough for me. Though, I wasn't going to believe it until the fat lady farted. About 30 minutes in, no sight of my uncle anywhere. At this point, I was more nervous than a 30-year-old virgin holding hands for the first time. The fat lady still had not farted. I was worried the proof would have not come to fruition. Out of nowhere, the lights dimmed, the music played, and there over the horizon, my uncle came out looking more beefed up than Dwayne Johnson. I did an audible gasp and my grandma ripped one. The proof was there, and the fat lady indeed farted. Everything was coming together. I felt like I had killer instinct blood flowing through me, as if I came from Doomguy's loins. I watched my uncle beat up his opponent without mercy and no hesitation. My uncle was serving up a whole dish of clapperoni and cheeks for this man's supper. When the match ended, he had took a few hard blows, leaving his nose broken and bleeding. Fast forward 2 hours, and the event was over. My family decided to get IHOP. When we arrived I witnessed the power of God in heaven. My uncle was there and his nose was perfectly fine. It turns out my uncle's body was more unbreakable than a Nokia phone. We all had a happy ending. I had my proof. My uncle clapped some cheeks. And we had IHOP. What was the moral of the story, you ask? Well, it's that when you have proof that your uncle is a professional at anything, you win the girl in first grade.